Good YouTube, it's your boy Johnny Finesse back to you with another video, back to you with another reaction. And today we about to watch Do You Get Along With Everyone? To be honest, I could, but I'm not a dick writer. I gotta say what I gotta say and I gotta be truthful with it. And if I personally don't like you for certain shit that you do, I'ma just be quiet and I'ma just leave you alone. If you try to say some funny shit, I'ma just walk away. I'm not even gonna pay you no mind, no cap. But if you're new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. Be on the road to 250 subscribers. 250 subscribers, bro. Let's get that done. Also, hit the like button. Hit the like button if you already subscribed. And yeah, let's get into
I was
it.
asked a question recently about how to get along with anyone. And I guess the question to you is, do you get along with everybody?
No,
Do you get along with everyone?
I could, but no.
Something tells me you don't get along with everybody. Let's unpack this and see what this really means to get along with anyone. Can somebody...
And honestly, you like it's best for you to not really get along with everyone, because everybody's not really for you. So if you really getting along with everyone, somebody's lying. Somebody's not really fucking with you. Somebody's actually using you. Somebody hates you on the low. So yeah.
really get along with everybody? The answer is both yes and it is no. Let's first talk about one side of it. So how do some people get along with everyone? Well, the relationship's always surface level, never goes deeper. The relationship is always very aloof. The relationship is always, how you doing? Good, boom, done. They're not going anything deeper, like, how you doing? It's very simple, right, where it goes to. The relationship is very safe.
Small talk.
Okay, if you keep it like that, you're typically going to get along with most people. There's not really deep relationships, but you get along with most people, right? So you kind of keep that distance to everybody. Now,
that's exactly how I speak to everybody at work. I don't try to have full conversations with everybody at work. I don't do that. I just do the exact same thing. Hey, how's it going? How you doing today? Like, that's it. Like, small talk.
Why not everybody gets along with everybody is because the moment, if you think about who you don't get along with the most all the time, you probably have a sibling on that list, okay? You could have a spouse on that list. You could have a boyfriend, girlfriend, or a parent, or a friend that is a best friend, maybe even a coworker. You know what all those six have in common? You've spent the most time with them. It's typically what happens on who you get along with the most and who you don't get along with. Sometimes it's safer to not get too close to people because it's always safe.
That's a fact.
This is why some people are afraid of real serious relationships, because what if I get too deep and this relationship doesn't work out? This marriage doesn't work out? What if this partnership doesn't work out? What if this hire doesn't work?
This shit is happening again. Are you crazy? How y'all doing today, though? Y'all good?
Work out. So it's always safe. You're not getting rejected. You're not having to reject. So it's always that. There's people that like to break up first all the time because they're afraid of getting close. It's that movie years ago I watched with the girl from Runaway Bride. I don't know what her name is, Runaway Bride. What is her name from Runaway? Julia Roberts, right? Runaway Bride, where she was always, right before getting married, boom, she would run away. She never wanted to get too close because what if it doesn't work out? So now, let's set that part aside. Here's the other part about getting along with everyone. Say you start having a conversation with somebody, and it's a stranger. First 5 minutes you get along. It's going great. All of a sudden, 5 minutes later, the topic is, so tell me what you think about Biden versus Trump. And you say, well, I got to tell you, I just think Biden's nicer. And I think Biden's more kind. And he's going to be the person, but I think Trump is just not a person I support at all. And all of a sudden, you see the person going like this.
You need to do your research on this presidency, for real. Like, everybody needs to go vote. If y'all can vote, everybody needs to go vote. Do your research on this presidency. Do your research on this one. This is an important one.
You have officially gotten somebody to not like you, okay? Now you say, so tell me, what do you think about the presidency? Who you're leaning towards? Who do you think is going to win? Oh, I think it's going to be Trump. Trump's a great leader. You know, Trump's getting things done. You know, I like the fact that he built a wall. You like the...
But the only thing that I think about that Trump did, that all presidents didn't do, is Trump gave us bread. Trump gave us bread and time. Even though the pandemic actually gave us time, Trump gave us money, and you can use that money to make investments. You have time now. You have time. You can't say, I can't get rich because I got work. This, that, and the third. No, nigga, you're getting paid more than you went to work, and you got so much time. You can stay in the crib, do your research, and invest. Everything is in like an invest mode. Like, you can really invest. Like, a lot of black people notice that. Because why? you mostly get the employment. Like there's a like I heard like there was a 50% increase in black-owned businesses. Why? Because they knew that they was getting free money, so they invested that free money and then they doubled it.
The fact
Scam
that
money don't make no
the
money,
moment
y'all.
you say that,
For
one
real.
of three things is going to happen with that person. Either the person's going to agree with you, which they're going to like you. Either the person could care less because they don't like politics. Or either the
Facts.
person's
That's
going
me.
to say, I can't believe you said that. But one of those three is going to happen. There's a 33% chance that one of these things is going to happen. So you're taking a risk. Meaning, in the world, when you take a stand, you cannot take a stand hoping everybody likes you. You cannot. You
That's a
cannot
fact.
take a stand thinking everyone's going to say you're so amazing. If you say you like the Lakers, the Celtics fans are going to hate you. If you say you like the Patriots, you know the Brady fans that are at Tampa Bay right now are going to dislike you. But whatever it is, there's a stand. If you say politically or spiritually, you believe in God,
I don't think they
the
hate
atheists
Brady.
are going to say,
They
what do you
wouldn't
mean you
hate
believe in
Brady.
God?
Why would you hate
If you
Brady?
say you
That
believe in
nigga
a
gave
certain
you a
denomination,
franchise.
the other denomination
Multiple
tells you, how
rings.
could you
You
think
can never
about
hate
that?
on
There's no
Brady.
way. Have you read
If you hate
this
on
book?
Brady, you're a dickhead.
There's always something there. So this, having said this, putting that aside, knowing that if you ever open your mouth and decide to have a deeper relationship with somebody, there's eventually going to be differences, okay? So now, many people stop right here and they say, if you don't like me, you don't like me, that's your problem.
That's a
That is
fact.
your problem.
That's
It's
your
not
problem.
my problem if you don't like me, okay? Fine.
That's a fact.
Let's say that's a mindset, but you got to go deeper than that. Here's the other deeper part of it. See, I don't think the question is whether you can get along with anyone. I think in life, there's a reason why the book How to Win Friends and Influence People has sold 40 million copies by Dale Carnegie. And this was the first book I ever read, How to Win Friends and Influence
The first
People,
read?
recommended to me by my sister when I got out of the military. And I'd never finished a book in my life. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Talks about smile, talks about find a way to be agreeable, talks about all this other stuff about dealing with people, right? Listen to them, look at them, all these things on how to deal with people. Okay, I remember one time I hired somebody and then we went out to dinner with a few friends, and this person was there, and she brought a friend. And she brought a friend, and I have not said a single word. From the moment her friend sat there, she went like this, okay? I have not even spoken to this woman. I don't have a social media presence at this time. We're talking
Yeah, sometimes
05.
I do that too.
I don't have any social, I don't have a single video on Facebook, YouTube. I'm not even on social media. The only thing I have in 05 is a BlackBerry. I'm not on MySpace. I'm not on Friendster. I'm not on
I had a
AOL. I'm not
BlackBerry
on
too. I had a
nothing.
BlackBerry with
She
a
comes in and she
trackball.
has an attitude like this looking at me. Okay? And my friend here, she noticed, she's like, wow, my friend really doesn't like this. Why? How come that she doesn't like you? So we had dinner, finished, got in to talk. Like, she's giving me a very cold attitude. And then I leave, she leaves. I have no idea what happened.
What?
She calls me afterwards. She says, Pat, I wanted to bring something up because it was kind of weird. I said, what's that? She says, my friend really didn't like you, and it wasn't you. I said, then what is it? She just said, you reminded her of her ex-husband.
Oh.
And the moment you walked and the way you walked, the way you did everything, she said, you reminded her of her ex-husband. She said, she believes you're this, you're this, you're that. I'm like,
Oh
I
shit.
didn't even talk to this person.
I didn't even
okay?
talk to her. Like,
What does this
dead
mean?
ass.
There's nothing I can do with a person like that. When a person looks at you and
can't.
says,
You
I
just
don't
can't.
like you because you look like XYZ, you remind me of XYZ, you can win those people. So now, let's
Don't.
unpack this
Leave them
audience
niggas
in three
alone.
different groups.
When you see people like that, and they say, oh, you remind me of this, that, and the third, or you compare me to this, that, and the third, leave them niggas alone. Because they're not even thinking about you, they're thinking about the other person.
There are those
Leave them niggas
people
alone.
that no matter what you do,
No
they
matter
are
what
not
you
going to
do,
get along with
you're not getting
Let's
along
set
with
that
them.
group aside.
They're not even thinking
There are
about you,
those
they're
people
thinking
in
about
your
somebody
life
else.
that you just
fucking
mesh,
you.
that you're going to get along with. Very simple. You ever meet somebody like, oh my gosh, I feel like I've known this person for years. Why is that? There's that group. This isn't about this group.
Yeah.
It isn't about this group. It is the group in the middle that you can do something to get him to not like you, and you can do something to get him to like you where you can get along with them. What is that? That's the area where you can improve in. Because if the first mindset was, if you don't like me, that's your problem, I don't care, I'm gonna go my own way, fine. But that's
Fine.
not highest level of thinking. That's surface level thinking, even if you go from that route. What do you mean if they don't like me, they don't? You get all these motivational speakers now, they say, if you don't like me, that's your problem, I wanna be like this because it's me and I'm being transparent and I'm being authentic. I get it. But it doesn't mean you can't find a way to change your approach.
That's a fact.
Maybe your approach is all
That's a
about
fact.
you. I was
That's a
having dinner
fact.
with one of our guys the
That's
other
a
day,
fact.
and I'll never forget what this guy said. This guy said to one of our guys that was sitting there, says, this guy's like, well, you know what, my wife always says good things about me, and I love it. His wife is sitting there saying, oh
That's
my
your
gosh, you're
wife.
so amazing, you're so this, you're so that. And one guy says, what can I do? My girlfriend never says anything good about me. And the one guy just flat out said, well, the reason why she says nothing good about you is because every time we're around you, all you do is brag about yourself. So that's why she doesn't brag about you. Because you brag about yourself so much. What? She's like constantly hearing you telling everybody how amazing you are. It's draining.
Yeah.
You always talk about your perfections. You don't talk about your mistakes. It's draining how many things you do wrong, you do right. People don't want to be around that, right? So
Yeah, niggas don't want to be around that.
a way of getting somebody to get along with you. You being willing to be a little bit self-deprecation. You ain't perfect. You ain't this. Always talking about what you did right, what you did right, what you did right. The audience probably gonna be like, oh my gosh, man, if I have to listen to this perfect guy again, because no one relates to perfection. I went to 26 churches before I finally committed to one. You know what?
Fact.
Every church I went to, the message was,
No one relates to perfection, because when you win too much, they turn into a hater. Because they not winning. Nobody relates to perfection, so there's only the select few that can relate to perfection. Because those that relate to perfection was the one that are like millionaires and stuff like that. They're not perfect, but they're close to perfect. And because they're close to perfect, they're hated on. So, yeah.
You're going to hell, and this is God this, and you got to be this, and you got to be that. Judgment, 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 judgment. I'm like, I'm good. I don't want to belong to a church that's filled with perfect people. I want to belong to a church that's filled with imperfect people that have made mistakes like me. Then I found a place. Then the guy at the top says, I've made mistakes on this. I'm like, you know what? I relate. Then I stuck around. Then I was there for a long time. Because we relate to people that have also made mistakes that are not perfect. The moment somebody wins and they get on their high horse, no one wants to be around somebody that gets on a high horse. No one cares how many millions of dollars you got, how many billions of dollars you got, what kind of a car you drive, how ridiculous of a six-pack you got, how big your house is. If you don't sit there and listen to them. I was at an event in LA just a couple of days ago. We were in 2 events, okay?
Where?
And this morning on the conference calls,
what?
Talking about a bunch of different people and how do you build a relationship with this and how do you build a relationship with that. And I enjoy people. I like sitting there listening to people because it reminds me of the flaws I had and how I adjusted and I improved what I did to my life, right?
Yeah,
At
I be looking upon myself.
I stayed for 3-4 hours just talking to people, getting to know this person's story, that person's story. This person's from Igbo, in South Africa, which is outside of Lagos, and this person is from Haiti, and that person's from, Japan, and this person's from Zacatecas, and that person's from Durango, and this person's from Michoacan, and that person's from San Salvador, and this person's from Tikal, and all of these conversations with all these people and the stories. So this is fascinating to learn about people, right? And while you're going through it, what people want to hear from me is, before I became who I am today, God knows how many mistakes I made. God knows how many mistakes I made. But then you listen, you're like, well, let me tell you what I did right and what I did this. What mistakes did you make? There are ways to improve the way you deal with people. So let's get back to it. Number one, yes, if you want to get along with everyone, you can keep a fake surface relationship with everybody and be very aloof, and you're not going to have a lot of conflicts with people. But you also won't have a lot of deep relationships.
That's a fact.
You will not have a lot of deep relationships. And life is about having a lot of deep relationships. It's so valuable. It's so great. I'm in LA. We went to Rafi's place. I sat down with my friends, Armand, Steve, Afo, Adams, their Tikrins, and we had just 3 hours, one like this. Great conversation. These are friends. You're sitting out talking about life, debate, fight, all this stuff. It was beautiful because it's deep relationships that we have together. We don't get along on all topics. We don't agree all on topics, but we have a deep relationship together. You want deep relationships in life. So that's that side. Then in life, you got people that are not going to get along with you, people that are going to get along with you, and people in the middle. And what can you do for your approach with people to get better? This is why books like How to Win Friends and Influence People do so well. If you've never read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, it's a good book for you to read. And by the way, there's a video I did many years ago.
I was about to say, you tell me to read that shit, you read it first.
If you've never watched this video, How to Choose
it.
Your Business Partner, click over here to watch this video of how to choose your business partner, because
this video had good information, I'm not gonna lie. It's all facts. Stuff that I can agree on, stuff like that, this, that, and the third. But if you made it to the end of the video, you obviously like my videos, so you should obviously subscribe to the channel. We on the road to 250 subscribers. Also, you subscribed already, please hit that like button. Comment down below which video you want me to react to next. This is Johnny Finesse, and I'm out.